Okay, good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's open forum. Everybody doing great out there? Give me a thumbs up. You're out there doing great. Awesome. Awesome. Hope everybody's enjoying the new year. We are very, very excited to get going here at FRI this year. I am personally very optimistic about what's coming this year for real estate in general and for you guys in particular. So those of you who joined me 2 weeks ago before the holiday, we discussed SMART goals. Just goal setting like we do every year. And we talked about what you guys are going to do. We talked about SMART goals, what they are, and you guys were going to set some. And then I reminded you about it yesterday with my email. So hopefully you guys have some. If you don't, there's still time to do it. Let's get on it. 2024 has started. There are some things that we want to go over before we start. Do you guys have any questions or anything you want to talk about before we get started? Okay, good. Let's share this. There it goes. It's coming up. All right. SMART goal. What's a SMART goal? We discussed all this before. Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time bound. We can go all these some other time. You guys can. You can certainly just Google SMART goals, and that's what it says. Before we get started, do any of you have any goals you would like to share? Blow this up a little bit. Anybody have anything they'd like to share? Full automation. Brian wants to be fully automated. Don't know exactly how that where you are now, Brian, and where that's going. But set specific goals. I want to get this automated. I want to get that automated, etc. Chad, 1 million in sales by the end of September. Okay, that's a specific goal for the first 3 quarters of the year. Okay, Brian, let's talk about yours first. Getting rid of the mundane, repetitive. I assume you're talking about paperwork, etc., or just processes in general. But that's a very general goal. So you got to break it down. It has to be the S in SMART has to be very specific. By the end of March, I don't want to be doing this anymore. This particular process that I think is repetitive and mundane. Or I'm going to have someone else do. I'm going to outsource it by the end of March or by the end of January or by whenever. Very specific goals. And guys, you know, I want to be the best. That's a great goal, but I really want to be. I want to be the best at what? How am I going to get there? And so what today's is about. Last time was about setting these SMART goals, and it doesn't really matter when we talk about it, but it was about setting these SMART goals, specific, measurable goals, attainable, time-based. All these factors in these goals, they have to be specific. You have to say, I want to do this by then. Okay. And what we want to talk about today is how to actually get there. You know, it's one thing to have a goal, but what are we doing today to get to your goal? Today's January 3rd. The first, you probably didn't do anything. The second, I don't know what you did, but did you work towards your goal yesterday? Are you going to work towards your goal today? Any of your goals? Which ones? Maybe it's fitness. Maybe it's your family. Maybe it's whatever. This isn't just real estate. You should have goals for different aspects of your life. There's more to you than just being a realtor, right? So let's talk about Brian. If you get specific, I'd be happy to talk to you about that. That's awesome. So Chad's goal, $1 million by the end of September. Defined goal. Chad just got ramped up in real estate. He's a title guy and a mortgage guy, and he just got ramped up in real estate, and he wants to do $1 million by the end of September. How are we going to do that, Chad? What are your specific goals? Now we have to break it down. I mean, that's a specific goal, but now we have to break it down. What do you have to do to get there? How do you think you're going to get that $1 million? I know it's new for you, whereas someone like Daryl or Tammy or people who've been around, they know how to get their business. They know that referrals work for them, or that community events work for them, or whatever it is that works for them, whatever kind of marketing works for them, because they've been doing it a long time. Chad, you don't know what works for you yet. So what are some specific things that you can do to get started? And only you know what resources you have to spend, whether it be time or money or whatever, to get started on those things. So I appreciate you sharing that goal. So what are we going to do to get there? Are we going to make 10 phone calls a day? Are we going to take every day from 10 to 11 and make phone calls? Are we going to contact our sphere of influence, starting A through Z? What are we going to do? And I want to work through the A's. I've got, I want to talk to, and don't just make phone calls. Make sure you talk to 5 people a day, 10 people a day. What's next for you? What's next for you in your life? And get them started talking about that kind of stuff and where they're going to be headed, and that their kids are moving out, and kids are moving out, and my grandkids are on the way, and this and that, whatever it is, and how that relates to real estate eventually. So hey, I just started this leads group. That's what's new with me. I'm working on this leads group I'm trying to do with the Chamber of Commerce. Oh, really? Do you have a real estate guy in there? So there's just a million things like that you can do. Daryl, hand up.
Actually, I did work January 1st. I just remembered, because I sent out a Happy New Year to all my past clients.
Beautiful.
So now I'm going to follow it up with, hey, what's going on this year? What's next?
Right. Love it.
I just happened to think about that. Wanted to share it.
Love it. It's January 3rd and Daryl's already worked. That's awesome. It really is. And what a great idea. Great time to reach out to your people. I don't want anything. Happy New Year. And then we'll reach out and talk about, and when I talk to them, it's not going to be like, hey man, times are tough. I don't know if you've heard, but real estate's tough. Interest rates are up. This sucks. You guys got anybody you can send my way? Like, get out of here, dude. But what's next for you guys? That's Daryl cares. I just sent you a Happy New Year's. Daryl cares about me, right? So Daryl's going to ask me what's next for me. Well, Daryl, I got a senior in high school. He's going to be moving out in 5 months, God willing. I'm kidding. But there are tons of life events going on for people. I would argue that most of the sales that we've had in the past year, that you guys have had in the past year, have been people going through life events. It's not people who say, boy, I sure would love to get rid of this 3.25% interest rate and get into something around 7.5. That's not what people are doing. People are having life events, right? Those are your sales. People are either moving to Florida or they're having life events. And occasionally they're moving out of Florida, right? But they're moving out of Florida typically because of life events, not because of this terrible weather that we're having. So that's typically what's going on. Daniel.
Hello there, everybody. Yeah, this year I made a little change. I'm starting this 2024 a little bit, working a little harder now. I'm going to fill out my calendar, and I'm going to have schedules of things that I'm going to be doing, where I'm going to be writing letters, where I'm going to be doing this, or I'm going to be doing some knockouts and doors or something. Yesterday I went over and I showed a house, and I took some flyers with me. Went about around 2 blocks and just putting flyers around and everything and knocking on doors and everything and see what happens. And I showed a house, and got 2 customers that looked out and said, well, wow, one sold the house. I said, I would have known, I would have probably sold with you. I like you. The other one says, I'm going to have you in mind. I'm thinking about it. And so I feel that, this year is going to be a little different. So I'm hoping by this summer, I should have some good sales or something going on, something really going on there. Yeah. But I think if I schedule myself to do certain things every day, since the day I get up and I say, well, 9 o'clock for this, 10 o'clock for that, and the rest of the day for this and everything, and weekends what I'm going to do, I think I could probably do a little bit better this year. Yeah. So I think that'll help, if I have a schedule to do it and I look at my calendar and I say, this is what I'm going to do today. Yeah. Instead of just, floating around thinking about what I'm going to do.
Well, Daniel, I can tell you something. That's exactly what I'm trying to get you guys to do, and that is beautiful, and it's going to work. I promise you it's going to work. Activity breeds success in every business. Any kind of sales that you do, activity breeds success. I don't care what you're doing. And you getting out there and doing that activity and having your name tag on and doing all this stuff. I've told you guys, well, a million times would be an exaggeration. I've told you guys several times about Ray, who's one of our agents here, and he went to knock doors one morning up in Apopka, and he was knocking doors and standing 15 feet back and wearing his suit and his name tag and everything else. And he stopped at McDonald's on the way home. After all that, we did knock doors from 9 to 12, and it was hot. And he stopped at McDonald's on the way home and talked to a guy. Nothing really came of the walking door to door, but he stopped at McDonald's on the way home, and a guy talked to him in line because he had his name tag on. Talked to him in line about real estate, and he ended up selling the guy a house. So it's just being out there and being active. And nobody was knocking on Ray's door if he's sitting at home in his underwear watching Jerry Springer. Nobody's knocking on his door to sell him something. So get out there. If you guys will treat this like the world's most awesome 9-to-5 job and get out there and work. And I don't care if I see people on here I know don't get up till noon, work from noon to 8, whatever it is that you want to work. But if you work on what you do, you will absolutely be successful, guys. I'm telling you, you just have to have these things. And doing from 9 to 10, I do this, and 10 to that. Is it always going to work out? Because no, tomorrow you're going to have a showing at 9:30. So you can't do that 9 to 10. But then make up time for it and get the job done and work like a real job. And you will absolutely, one thing you guys can't control is when people want to see houses and stuff like that, right? So, but treat it like a job and get out there and work, and you'll do great.
One more thing, Brian.
Yes, sir.
I did talk to an attorney, and I've been sending letters out too. That's how I got it on my schedule too. I'm going to be writing letters to neighborhoods and stuff. I did meet an attorney, and he says he's happy to have me aboard. He says, "Well, boy, as soon as I know something, I will," because they work on probates and all that. And he told me, we had a good talk, and he says, yeah, that works. And he says, I'll spread the word around. So I think attorneys are real good at that when they work with divorces and all that kind of stuff too. So I'm working with that issue too this year.
Awesome. And that's another thing we talk about with goals, is set goals to make relationships with people who can help you, accountants and attorneys and people like that, people who can actually help your business and you can help their business, create relationships. And they typically love it. They want business too. That's how they make a living. So thank you, Daniel. You're doing great.
Thank you.
And I'm here if you want to talk individually about that stuff, let me know.
Okay.
It says Daryl, then Christina on my screen.
When Daniel said calendars, it popped in my head. How many people already sent out their 2024 calendars? I think I actually put put an Amazon link on the calendars that I sent out because they were sticky, and all I did is put my business card on top. And actually, I gave those out at my HOA meeting. Plus, I mailed a bunch of them to the neighbors around. So it's January 3rd. You need to send out 2024 calendars right away. That's
awesome.
all.
Awesome. Thank you. And where did you get that done, Daryl?
I found them on Amazon. I think they were like, what was it, 100 for $46? Kind of pricey, but it's worth it, I think. Because they'll be on somebody's refrigerator all year. They never get rid of those things.
Yeah,
you go in there and you have appointments, like listing appointments, and you go in someone's house, and sure enough, somebody's calendar is up on their refrigerator. You want that calendar to be you. Hello.
Yeah.
What did it cost in postage?
I think it was just a regular stamp, actually.
Oh, really?
I sent them a calendar, and then I sent them, of course, a little letter or something saying that I have buyers in this area. So they got and that was all handwritten. I found that out from a podcast that I always watch. I think it's zero to something. It's an old Remax realtor that does the podcast really, really well though. So I sent out handwritten letters, and I sent out the calendar to everybody. I'm pretty sure it was just one stamp. I don't think I
just did the one-page calendar, because I sent calendars one year and they were 90-some cents, I think, because they had like the little magnet on it, and so it was heavy.
Yep, that's what they are. They have the little magnet, so you can put your business card on top. And then I don't think they were rip-off calendars. I think they were, or tear-off calendars. I think they were just printed. The whole year was printed on the bottom.
Yeah.
And that made more sense to me.
Yeah.
They were a little bit expensive at $46, but I'm like, if I get one listing or one sale, who cares? So it was an easy, it was an easy, what I think I got like maybe 400 of them. So $200, who cares? You need to spend money to make money. Hello.
Yeah, and that's a whole nother training that we talk about. And I don't care whether you're opening a hot dog stand or whatever you do, you're in business. You were in business the minute you got your real estate license. You run a business, whether you run it actively or passively or don't do much or do a lot. You run a business, and you do have to spend money to make money, guys, and or your resources, time. Some of you don't spend a dime, but you spend a lot of time, whatever. Those are all resources, and you have to spend those things. Money is an important resource, and you do need some to grow a business, or you need a lot of time. But that little bit of money will save you a lot of time. It'll get your business cranked up and going. I love that. 46 cents a piece, plus the time you mail it out and everything, you're a little over $1 a piece. It's not going to kill you, and it does help, guys. It keeps you top of mind with people, right? I don't know about you guys. Daryl, these are little magnets, or what are these?
Yeah, they're magnet calendars. They're like what, 3 inches
What?
by 7 inches or so. They fit
Right.
in a regular number 10 envelope, and
Okay.
you just peel off the top where the magnet is, and stick your business card on the top, and then the calendars and everybody has them on the refrigerator when you go for listings. At least
Well,
pretty much.
and they're heavy, so you open them. You don't just throw them away.
Yeah, exactly. The envelope's heavy, so there's something in there.
Right. Okay. I like it. Really like it. Christina.
Hey, so I was going to suggest for, I think it was Daniel that was talking about planning out your marketing ideas and, scheduling your marketing tasks and things like that. So I use something called Asana, and I think I've got a free membership. I think you can do it for free, but you can organize and plan for the whole year. They're called boards, but it's essentially, you can have little segments. And so that's what I've been doing to kind of plan out my year, my month. I'll do it month by month, and so, what Gerald does with the calendars is great. For in certain months, I do certain pop buys for clients or certain things. So, you just go month by month and then plan it out. And then from there, you can put that onto your calendar, but it's called Asana. I'll put it in the chat, ASANA, but it's just a great tool to organize that sort of thing. And then that way, because for me, if it's not like right in front of me, I might forget it. So now is a great time to go in there and just plan out your marketing. And so anyways, that's just something that I use to stay organized. It's a great tool.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing that. How many of you guys, and this is a rhetorical question, how many of you guys did what Daryl did and sent out a Happy New Year? That's a great reason to touch your clients, is a Happy New Year. I would bet that not a lot of you did it, and you should have it on your calendar. And if you use something like that to organize that, that's the kind of thing that you'll remember. You remember also, you have those of you who, all of your buyers from last year, they've got February 29th this year to get their homestead exemption filed. That's another reason to reach out to them a couple of times. I would start, not right now. It's not too late. People are still saying Happy New Year everywhere you go. Go ahead and send them that Happy New Year. Hope your New Year's going great kind of thing. You can still do that on the 3rd. And that's for everybody. But for your ones that bought last year, go ahead and send them that maybe February 1st to remind them to do their homestead exemption. There's a reason to reach out to them to every month. February 14th. I hope you guys are still in love with your house for Valentine's Day. Something silly like that with some hearts on it. There's reasons to reach out to people without being salesy, gimme, right? Just ways to be, depending on your style of salesperson and realtor that you are. Some of you guys are best friends types, and oh my gosh, she's the best. She's like my sweet best friend that I never knew, or she's like my sister, my realtor. I hear people talk about their realtors and they're like, oh, she's so great, she's like my favorite aunt, blah blah blah, or whatever. Or he's like the neighbor I wish I had. He's like taking my dad to the car dealership when I buy a house for him. It's so you're one style or another, but keep your marketing in that style of whatever relationship you have with those people. I've talked to you guys about this before. I can't pull off the the best friend, you know, everybody's, oh my gosh, your hair, it looks so great. So great to see you. You know, I can't pull that off, but you know, I'm more of the type, the dad that takes you to the car, a little bit of tough love and a little bit of I'll fight for you, you know. And so, you know, you get your style and you're going to negotiate for them, or you're going to walk them through this process. You guys are going to love this process. You're going to love this house, you know, blah, blah, blah. Just want you guys to be happy and, you know, all that stuff. You have a style, whatever that is. Each of you does. So focus on that and keep your marketing consistent with that. That's just, that's not part of the goal setting thing, but that's just something I wanted to share with you guys. Keep your marketing consistent with your style and what your relationship is with the people, because some of you guys are so scared of coming off as salesy, and it's good. That's a good thing to be mindful of. But keep your relationship in what it is, because it's sincere. If that's your style, then that's sincere, and consistency is sincere. Because yeah, I mean, it is. You guys are. You didn't even think about it when you first started. That was just your style. You're not pretending to be something that you aren't. But your style is your style, and people like you for the reason that they like you, and they used you for the reason that they used you. They liked you and trusted you, and they're not going to trust you if you try to be something that you're not. It just rubs people the wrong way. All right. SMART goals. I loved what Daniel said about talking to the working out a relationship with an attorney. That's great. That should be part of it. I'm just suggesting that as a goal for you guys. Work out a relationship with an attorney or an accountant, people that can help you guys. Work out like Daryl, I know, got into his leads group kind of thing where he made a presentation. Get into those kind of things. Get into be part of your community or part of the community you want to farm. And you know, set goals like that. There's plenty of stuff you guys can do. You know, well, I'm trying to scroll down the wrong part. Sorry. Back with this. Increase real estate transactions from 100 to whatever yours is, 25%, whatever it is. Figure that out. But those are top line goals. Then we're talking about how to get there. The sales and marketing portion of it. Every Friday morning, I'll review my pipeline. I don't know. I can't get rid of this guy. Okay, every Friday morning, I'll review my pipeline, update opportunities, and complete all outstanding follow-up tasks, you know, all this kind of stuff. What are you going to do? Maybe a lot of follow-up is falling through the cracks. Maybe that kind of thing. What can you do to better follow up with things? You know, work out a system like that with, you know, every day I'm going to follow up on yesterday's email, even if I have to search through my sent file in my inbox from yesterday and see what I missed. I try my best to mark things as unread, so I'll get back to them later. I don't know what you guys do with your email thing. It's very difficult for me with text, which is why I ask you guys to email me when you have a issue. I prefer that over text. So I get so many texts that come off the bottom, and then I have to open them, and I'm in a meeting and I can't respond right now, and you know, all that kind of stuff. So work on your follow-up procedure. I'm always working on mine, and that's one of my goals, is to get better at that. I've started forwarding emails to myself, and that's my new thing for this year, to try to figure that out. It's actually something Carissa told me, is forward them to yourself and have a rule on your email. We use a Gmail system. Have a rule on that to where it brings it top of box or whatever it is, right? Whatever your rule is, you can create for that, so where you are going to see that. Different ideas for different things, but each of us have different problems and different goals, different things we want to work on, right? Some of you guys want to go to the gym to lose weight. Some of you guys want to go to the gym to gain weight. Some of you guys want to eat more, eat less. We all have different problems, right? So there's all different things. What other, do you guys ever have any other goals or things to share with us? I see some stuff in the chat. Natalie sent e-cards for your counters to my 200 years. Nice, Natalie. Great job. Great job. It's great to plan these things out for next year, like Christina said with the Asana system, to plan them out for next year. What are we going to do for March? What are we going to do? Some of you guys saw the email we sent congratulating you all for hitting your cap on January 1st. It was a little tongue-in-cheek because you don't have a cap. No cap, no cap. That's a little slang for the kids, no cap. So you don't have a cap. I sent that out, you know, just based on something I wanted to do, to point out that our agents don't have a cap. You know, you're 100% starting right now, or starting on January 1st, you were. And so just little things like that, plan little things like that, plan, you know, stuff for whatever kind of holidays you want. Any other question? You guys, I'm going to share this for you. I'm going to share this page that I'm on, and it's just ideas. It's not a real case study or anything. It's just ideas for things that you can do as a realtor. Any other comments before we go forward? Questions?
I thought the no cap thing was really funny. Actually, you saw me. I sent it over and I shared it with everyone. I sent it over just to a bunch of my Facebook friends and everything. And I got people laughing about it. And I'm like, it's kind of a joke, but it's not really a joke. Some of them got it. Some of it, the people that are in the business got it. The other ones were like, congratulations. I'm like, it happens every year. Hello.
I know. I set it for 6 o'clock to go out at 6 o'clock too, because I know nobody worked that day. There's no closings that day. But I said
It was funny. It was
funny
funny as hell. I loved it.
guys. Big day for everybody. Let it go. All right. Well, I'm glad. Yeah, I saw that on your Facebook. I'm glad you did that. All right. Any other? I'm going to stop sharing this. Any other comments before we move forward? And all we're going to move forward with, guys, is talking about how we're going to get this done. So you guys have great goals. How are we going to get them done? Somebody share a goal with me, and let's talk about how we can get it done. Any goal you have. All right, I will try to help. Who has a goal of reaching out to their entire sphere of influence? Does anybody have that goal? Reach out to my entire sphere of influence. I see some faces on here. I see some names on here. People who are relatively new in the business. That should be the first thing that you guys should be doing. Brian, is that's a goal for you, Brian? I'm going to assume. Okay, so Brian has a sphere of influence that he derives from his contacts. First of all, you got to narrow it down. Who's really in your sphere of influence that's relevant for this? And I think that you guys have to, more people are relevant than you think. You get things out of people that you don't think you're going to, et cetera. So I would make that a wide net. Now, let's say you have 1,000 contacts. Okay, 1,000 people in your sphere. You're going to reach out to those people. I don't care if you do it alphabetically, if you rank them some kind of, okay, Brian has a big 50. Okay, guys, Brian's in big retail. He's a commercial agent in big retail stuff. So he's got a big 50 and then 1,000 others. And then his thing went off my screen. But okay, so you're going to reach out to those big 50 more often. And you guys can do that as well with yours. I'm sure you guys have a kind of a ranking of people you think will be more helpful than others. And I like that Brian does that. So he's got a ranking of people that he thinks are more relevant to his business than others, right? And you guys all do. You've got people who you think could really help you in this business, and some of you are really good friends with mortgage brokers or title people or attorneys or accountants or the kind of people that you really want to work with. And some of you are too nervous to talk to people that you go out and have a beer with, but you're too nervous to call them and ask them for help with your business or ask them how you can help their business. That is ridiculous, guys. What's the worst thing they can say? I don't do business with people who drink like you do. I mean, what's the worst thing they could say? No. I mean, the worst thing they can say is, I just don't know if we could help each other, right? Or they're more likely to, the worst thing that they could do is brush you off and say, sure, yeah, let's do that. Just like you told 1 million people over the holidays, yeah, we're going to have to get together, and you never will, right? So, but that's the worst thing they can do, guys. If you start, even if they do that, and then you start helping their business, they're going to help your business as well. They're going to take it seriously. So make these relationships, get out and do these things. So what are we going to do? We have 1,000 contacts. And like, let's say Brian's 50 of them are people we really think can help us for whatever reason, right? They're whether it's their occupation or that they're just really well liked in the community, or they're big shots in the community, whatever it is, right? People will listen to them. They're influencers of some type. So what are we going to do? We're going to contact 10 of them a day. I'm going to speak to 5 of them a day. Within 10 days, I will have talked to my big 50, right? I'm going to speak to 5 of them a day. I don't care how many phone calls it takes me, but I'm going to speak to 5 of them a day, right? This is January. Let's speak to 5 of them a day. Let's get this all knocked out in the next 10 days, right? Maybe you have 100 people. Maybe you have a top 50 and then another 100 behind that who you think are the next best, et cetera. Let's talk to all those people by the end of January. Whatever it is. I mean, I'm not going to tell you what your numbers are, but knock them out and call them at a certain time every day. That's the only way you'll do it if you're like me. And a lot of you probably are, but a lot of you are a lot different than I am. Just whatever you know will work for you, do that. The best thing you can do in this business is know yourself, know your own limitations, know what you'll do. Brian says time blocking. That's my number one thing for most of you guys. That's what I would have to do. That's what I recommend to you guys to do. You guys know how you'll work and how you won't, though. You know yourself well enough to know that, gosh, I get really tired in the afternoons, or I'm this or that. We know whatever it is. I don't feel like talking to anybody after lunch. Whatever it is you guys do. Or in the morning, I gotta have 3 cups of coffee before I talk to anybody. Whatever it is, figure it out and do it. Guys, the most important thing about all this stuff is do it. You guys have the best idea. I say you guys in particular, but you guys being realtors have the best ideas and the best this and that you don't enact. We all do, right? We have these grand ideas and these grand things that we ought to be doing, and we don't do them. You have to make yourself do it, and it starts with little increments, and before you know it, you've done it. And before you know it, you're doing it. It's a habit. It's a good habit, and you get stuff out of it. You guys might not want to run around the block 3 times today, but if I told you that'll get you a real estate sale, would you do it? Of course, right? This stuff works. This activity breeds success, and it absolutely works. So that's what you do. If you have that, I want to do that. You make it one of these goals that you do every day until it's done. But you got to start today, and you got to say, what am I doing toward my goal today? Today's January 3rd. There's absolutely no excuse for 2024 for any of you. Today is January 3rd. You have been warned. You have been given, you're on the clock. It's January 3rd. It's not too late. This is not, March 4th, where oh man, 2 months are already gone. I might as well wait till 2025. It's January 3rd. Get started today. Nobody did anything on the 1st. According to my phone not ringing yesterday, most of you didn't do anything yesterday. So today's the day. Get out there and start. Everybody else has started. All the successful people have started. So get started. Any other ideas, any other time blocking things that you guys think you can do, think you should do? Anybody want to? This is a great group. I love all you guys coming in here. You wouldn't be here if you didn't want to do better, if you didn't want to or maintain the success you have or get better success. This isn't fun having somebody. 35 people for goals is more than we usually get. Usually people read the goals email and they don't come in. Nobody wants to be held accountable, but this is a great place to be held accountable. This is if you want that. It's time to decide whether you want to be successful or whether you want to just go through another year going through the motion and being sad. So, but this is a great place to be held accountable. These people are all great. They're all in the same boat that you're in. They all want you to be successful. They all want to be successful. They all recognize your pain. They all recognize how difficult the business can be. I know a lot of you guys got in this business, and when we used to do in-person trainings, I used to ask you guys to raise your hand, tell me why you got in the business. A bunch of them would say to help people. Some of the people in this room right now would say, I got in the business to help people. And help people how? Well, find their home, help people I want them to be happy and all this stuff. And I would tell them, well, I've never seen a homeless person sitting on a suitcase full of cash because they couldn't find a realtor. They can find a realtor. They can find a house. You got in this business because you wanted to be successful on your own time, make your own schedule, live your own life. Nobody can tell you how much money you can make. Nobody can tell you anything else. You wanted to do that, right? You wanted to be successful. Whatever this opportunity presents, I tell people it's the best job in the world if you're good at it. It's the worst job in the world if you're bad at it. And you got to be good at it. You got to figure out a way to be good at it, because it is frustrating and paralyzing if you're bad at it. Any sales job is. If you're bad at it and the bills keep on coming and the sales don't, what you've got to do, but you all know people, or you see them on your social media where they're a realtor and they're glorious and they're showing this house and they're showing that house and they're going on a cruise and they're doing this and doing that. And some of those people are in this room right now who make 6 figures and they're always on having a great time and living their own life. And that is wonderful. And that's why you got in the business, because people are successful at that. And somebody told you, you have got a great personality. You're going to do great at that. You've got the look and the personality and you're going to do great at that. And you wonder why you're struggling. And the reason you are struggling, the reason you're struggling is because you're not breaking down things day by day and doing the things that are necessary to be good at this. And I don't care how great your personality is. I don't care what you look like. If you don't do the things that you have to do, you're not going to be successful. Okay. Sorry, tough love. Christina.
So one of the things I did last year, and it's not cheap. It was, it was a course that I paid for. It was a 10-week course from somebody that was referred to me by one of my social media coaches. Her name is Sheena Gilreath. I'll drop everything in the chat. And she does something called like a systems rehab for agents. So I've always, I got into real estate and I was in new homes and then that was starting to crash. I got into foreclosures and then I kind of got into referral based business and that's what I've been doing ever since. But, I've been with FRI since 2012 and just kind of doing my own thing. And, so I didn't come from like a big box brokerage where, I kind of have my own internal systems. This was a great course that really helped me get organized and like you're talking about scheduling, get more into time blocking. That's been helpful. Like I'll put blocks of time into my Google Calendar. That kind of helps to make it more real and gives me some reminders. But it's called the Leverage Co. Sheena Gilreath, and it's like a 10-week course. She does it a couple times a year, but she kind of helps you implement systems to help you stay organized and like goal set, just be more organized and intentional with your time. So that was really helpful for me. So I'm going to put it in the chat if anybody is interested.
That is wonderful. Thank you, Christina. Guys, I get asked all the time by agents, our agents, of what should I do? There's Grant Cardone's class and Ferry classes and this class and that class, and who should I follow? Is this person good? Is that? They're all great if you'll do them. I don't care which one. Don't care which one. They're all coaches. Oh no, not Grant Cardone. Okay, so don't do Grant Cardone. Just kidding. Just do what, if you do the key to, let me tell you this, I could be this great coach if people will do, if you'll be active. I don't care what it is. You can walk door to door. You can do a unique selling proposition. You can do whatever it is that these people are teaching you. But if you don't do it, I don't care who your coach is if you don't do what they say. And I don't care who your coach is. If you do what they say, you're going to be successful. Okay? With that, I mean, don't get like just some idiot, but like any of these coaches, any of these people, they will be perfectly fine. All right? Just do what they say. I guarantee you they won't work if you don't do what they say. If you don't actually do it, guarantee you it won't work. Nobody's going to hunt you down because you took a Tom Ferry class. Okay? They're going to hunt you down because you listened to him and you did what he said. All right? So keep that in mind. Doesn't matter what you do. This organization, like Christina said, this person teaching you how to do the organization, all that stuff, that's steps beyond what we're talking about today. I'm just trying to get you guys to do goal setting and to set time block, to set things in your calendar, work towards your goal every day. If you'll do that, you'll be successful. I promise you'll be successful if you do it. If you treat it like a job and you work it, you'll be successful. It is a great job if you're good at it. And you don't, and let me tell you, if you're doing these things, you're going to be, and you know this because you know other realtors, you're going to be ahead of 99% of agents if you do the things that we're talking about. If you time block, if you do these things. And the 1% you won't be ahead of are the ones you already heard of. Those are the ones that are doing really, really well. Okay? So I know some of you people in this room are doing these things and you are successful. You just want to tweak what you're doing. Guys, if you want to talk to me privately to do a little bit of goal setting and stuff like that, I'm happy to do it. I know you guys don't want to share stuff in this room full of people because you don't want to be held accountable and you don't want to feel like your goals are silly. There are no silly goals. Just do them. I don't care if your goal is to sell one house this year or 100. There's nothing silly. Okay? Set your goals and do them. Anybody else have anything that they would like to share? Great. People are sharing their favorite coaches in there. They're all wonderful, guys. Do them. Do them. All right.
You know what? I got a test actually. I'm just now looking at it because I had to look it up again. One of the vendors actually, a photographer that goes to my community meetings, he went there. My last one was great. It was crazy. I don't like getting up and talking to a big room of people. I get anxiety really bad. My stomach's sick as can be. Here, I don't mind talking for some reason. I don't know what it is with me, but that's how it is. But anyway, he sent me a test on January 1st, and it says, hey, this is so-and-so, the photographer from the business meetup. Do you need any photos or videos? This was on January 1st, New Year's Day. He's sending me this. I'm like, who is working today? You are. But anyway, I told him, I said, actually, I don't have any listings right now. I said, do you know anybody that's selling or buying? I'll be glad to hire you if you do. He goes, well, actually, not at the moment, but I'm reading it right here on my test. Not at the moment, but one of my friends might be selling his apartment in the future. I said, cool, I'll hire you for the pics. So it was kind of a cool exchange. Yeah, he got back with me on January 1st. I'm like, this guy is actually calling or tasking people on January 1st to ask for business. That was good. And he remembered me because the meeting that I had, like I said, I don't like getting up in front of a group of people. And I was beating myself up because I had to do this. I volunteered it and everything, and I was stoked about it, but I was scared my anxiety was going to come out. Okay. And I don't want to do that in front of everybody. Okay. So I got there. I think I told y'all I turned into Daryl's favorite things, just like Oprah's favorite things. And I gave away a bunch of crap, a bunch of really nice crap, actually, Apple AirTags and really nice crap. They were all thrilled to get everything. And I told them first, I said, I don't like getting up and talking to a bunch of people about my business. You all know me anyway, because I'm kind of loud at the meetings, of course. I said, I'm not going to talk about real estate. I've sold hundreds, if not thousands of homes. I know what I'm doing. I've been in the business 24 years. Just hire me and if you don't need me, introduce me to your friends or family, somebody that does need me. And I promise I'll take really good care of them. So I turned it into actually a gift giving meeting, to where I just got up there and I had a big box full of stuff, gifts and everything that I was going to give out. And I spent about $300 on the gifts. They were nice gifts. And it just turned the meeting from one thing totally to another, and everybody loved it. So just something I had to share that with everybody, because I actually had a blast. My anxiety went down. I had no anxiety because I was up there acting like Oprah, giving out all these things. It was just cool. It was fun. So that's all. I'll stop talking. I know I talked too much.
Daryl, that's wonderful. You turned it from something that you hate into something that you love. And so you got comfortable with it. That's wonderful. And that's what you guys, when we talk about reaching out to these people and not coming off salesy, you guys hate coming off salesy. You're super uncomfortable for it. That's probably why Daryl didn't want to talk about his business. He doesn't want to come off as salesy, but he loves giving and he loves the Christmas spirit and he loves all that stuff. So that is absolutely wonderful, guys. And that's a brilliant way. And that's what I'm talking about being yourself, being genuine, being the person you want to work with. Not everybody's going to want to work with you, right? There are hundreds of closings today in your area, whether you're Orlando, Tampa, wherever you are. There's hundreds of closings today in your area, and you might not have any of them. Lots of people are closing on houses without you. You just need to get your share. Not everybody's going to want to work with you. You be you, and people will want to work with you. Okay. Tammy Pipkin has a raised hand. Yes.
I worked on Christmas Day. I answered my phone. I had a lead, actually 2 calls. And Christmas Day. The one was a $1.7 million call. I couldn't believe I actually got it. I thought I'm probably going to get it because it was an Op City lead, because nobody's probably working today. And I ended up showing at the View, but I had anxiety because it was like, oh gosh, I don't really want to show at the View. I've never been there. I don't even know how to really get in and out of the place. And the agent that had the listing, she's like, I am a building specialist. I can walk into any building And when I looked her, and I was not intimidated, but I thought, oh wow, she's probably sold, like millions of dollars of these properties, especially the way she talked. It sounded like it. And when I looked her up, she really had sold like 2 properties last year and 3 properties this year. So, it was like, oh my gosh. But anyway, I went to the View, which was, I'm sure Daryl, you're probably familiar with it. She gave me a really good tour. It was really nice. And I met the people. And then this other girl called and wanted to see a house on Christmas Day. And I said, it's Christmas. And she's like, yeah, but when I put my information in like to Zillow, it said that, I could see it. And I said, well, no, we can't really see it today. But anyway, so that was it. I answered my phone on Christmas Day, and I don't know that those people are going to turn into anything, but I did show them.
Wonderful. Wonderful. That's
And my goal for this year, one of my goals, don't ask me how I'm going to do it, because that's why I want to save more money.
great goal.
Yeah.
Great goal. Save more money. So I'm not an expert on that, unfortunately, but I would tell you that it's going to help you if you budget. I bet you don't know what you're spending all your money on. You're probably surprised at the end of the year that you don't have more money saved because
Right.
you made X amount. You should have spent X amount. And it sure made sense during the year.
Right.
We've all been there, Tammy. So I think you need to go over your expenses and budget.
Yeah. Well, I signed up with that formations group because my CPA is sick. And so I had to get something else. And I've not really been that connected with my stuff. And so I'm really kind of excited about hopefully, this company helping me stay on track and get a better feel for things.
Wonderful. Wonderful. We've been focused a lot on, I have been, and I apologize, on just real estate sales stuff, but there are lots of things in your life that you need to get your handle on. So lots of things you can have goals about: your social life, your financial life, your health, your family, all these things that you guys can have goals about, and you should. Whatever, we typically address the things that pain us in our life. And there's books about this, about pain and about the things we do. And I talked to you guys about this before as well. We always address that which pains us most. If it pains me more to be overweight than it does to miss out on a hamburger, then I'll do something about it, right? We address whatever pains us more. And if it pains me more to be broke than it does to knuckle down and do the things I have to do in real estate, then I will do the things I have to do in real estate. Whichever causes me the most pain is the one I'm going to avoid. So, and that goes for your family. If it pains you more to not talk to a family member than it does to accept that you were disrespected and take an apology or give an apology or something, all these things, psychological things, guys, none of my business, not my forte at all. But those are the things that you guys need to address. Maybe your goal is to have a better relationship with your parents or kids or brother or sister or cousin or whomever, right? So figure that out. Maybe your marriage isn't as great as could be, this or that. I am Christina's psychologist against my will. Yes, I am. And you're not the only one, Christina. So, and guys, it's fine. It's all kind of part of my job, kind of. But that is why I put on our things. We'll talk about whatever real estate related issues. I don't know if you guys notice that on your invitation every week. I always put real estate. I didn't put it at all this time, but I put real estate related when I do this. That's all. Those are all great. And your financial stability, your financial success that's what we're all here for. That's why we're in this meeting, right? For financial success. But there's a gathering. There's a revenue with any business. There's revenue and there's expenses. If you don't get a handle on your expenses, it doesn't matter what your revenue is. So it's very important for your success in this business to control what your expenses are. And that's what we talk about every week. That's why I have those formations people, but it's also why I have the reminder media and this and that to help you guys spend your money in the best ways to get the best return on your marketing dollars, right? And I want you guys to decide that. And you said OpCity. If you guys aren't using OpCity and Prime Street, then let me tell you this: Tammy's not too good for it, and she does better than just about everybody in this meeting. I'm not looking at all the names, but I can guarantee you she's in our top couple of realtors every year. And Tammy's got time for OpCity leads. But some of you guys say, oh, they're not good leads. Tammy, how many OpCity deals have you sold?
I think 17. I think I'm at 17 over the last several years.
Yeah,
Because
we've been with
they-
them for 4.5, 5 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's selling 3 or 4 a year through OpCity. Anybody would like 3 or 4 more deals a year for free?
Actually, I just talked to one this morning and one yesterday morning. But the problem is my phone. This is so irritating. Your phone locks out. And so you got to put your password in. And so I try to get in the habit of try to keep my phone on and my OpCity thing open. And then sometimes when I push it, it's like because my case, it flexes. So I miss, or you're driving and the lead comes in when you're driving and you're trying to like do it. So, I just,
Guys,
I've missed a lot, but
Tammy can barely work a cell phone and she's gotten 17 deals with them. Imagine what you could do.
and it's an Android.
And it's an Android. There's nothing wrong with Androids are great. But Tammy runs circles around most of you guys, and she's got time for OpCity leads. So don't be ridiculous, and don't tell me the leads aren't good.
Well, a lot of them have been lower, like 200,000, but sometimes they pan out to be something more. But I just pretty much answer everything I can because you never know.
I think that's great. I think you should. I think that how many of you will work a deal for $200,000? All right, fantastic.
If you can find something for 200,000, that's the problem.
Well, I know.
Yeah.
But not all leads are going to be great. But guys, if you're closing 1 out of 25 leads, that's about the average, and that's for people who buy them. If you're paying Realtor.com for leads, that's about what. So if those of you who don't know, OpCity is Realtor.com leads. It's actually called. Have they changed the name to Real something Connect now or something? They changed it to something. At least I started getting emails from somebody. I'm like, what are you talking about? We're not part of that. And I'm like, oh, that's OpCity. They changed their name to anything that works well, Realtor.com changes their name. So I just
referred a deal because I was going to London to Romina. The guy spoke Spanish. I had a hard time understanding him anyway, but I labored over referring that out as the best thing I ever did. She said it was the hardest deal of her whole life. It was a crazy deal, but she got it closed. It was OpCity.
Awesome. Guys, OpCity, they're just so you guys know, they're free up front and you pay 35% on the back end if you sell it. You can take 100 of them. If you don't sell them, you don't pay anything. But you sell them and you do that. And the more you sell, the higher you go up in their algorithm and the better chance you have of getting those $1.7 million leads and stuff like that. Daniel first and then Levette.
Yeah, I got a question for Tammy on that OpCity. I click on it, but by the time I click on it, it's gone. And they keep telling me there's a way to do it. And can you give me any idea maybe how to get to it faster? Because by the time I get to it, sometimes it's gone. Sometimes I get one, but it's very rare. It goes real fast. They say to click on it, and I try, but sometimes it goes pretty fast though. Do you have a way to do it on the phone or?
You're hearing the alarm? Because sometimes when you're on the phone, a lead will come in and I don't hear it. And I do miss quite a few just because I'm on a phone call, which is kind of frustrating, but I can't really do anything about that. No, you just kind of have to make yourself aware and have your phone, like maybe the app up in front of you and just kind of keep reminding yourself of that. But yeah, they do go fast and it is frustrating, especially when you see the good ones go by. You're like, oh, how did I miss that? But it's the fastest person gets it. You just have to be fast.
She said was saying something yesterday to me.
I got a new phone at one point a while ago because it was my phone was processing and it was more my phone. And when I got a newer phone, it got, a faster speed. And I think that helped. So I don't know how old your phone is, if that's something to do with it either.
I had it on the tablet where she told me to take it out and just leave it on the phone. And then also she told me something about holding the dot down. That'll hold it. And I said, I don't know what she was talking about, but she told me about 3 times. So I said, let me see if I could figure it out. And
I
then
don't know.
I don't know. So I'll just keep trying to get, like you say, probably leave it on from now on and see, when it clicks on, I'll be ready for it.
Right.
All right. All right. I appreciate it.
Yeah, Daniel, you can always contact them directly as well. I don't know. I don't take them, but you can
Mhm.
always contact OpCity directly as well and try to
Ah, see if
Okay.
they got something.
Yeah, see if they can tell you what you're doing wrong, or if you're doing something wrong, or if it's just the app or whatever. But originally, when we first started this, they were phone calls, and they were hot a lot of times on the phone. The client was actually on the phone, and they just transferred them to you and stuff as well. So things have changed quite a bit. But
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I can't keep up with it 'cause I've never taken one.
Oh, okay. I'll check with them, see what they say.
Yeah, Christine, I'm gonna get to Livette in a second, but we do have. Yeah, I'm probably gonna address that next week. The Forewarn app that they've just come out with. I know you got 3 emails about it today, probably because I did. And it's an app to check the person you're about to meet with to make sure they're not a serial killer or something. And they'll verify their car and stuff like that. They'll verify.
Marina had that, our old agent Marina, and you go like people that come into an open house, you can put them in. It's pretty cool. She showed me.
It's free now with your MLS.
Oh, it is. Oh,
Yeah,
I
they
missed
just
that.
announced that.
Oh, cool.
Here, I'm going to copy this. I'm trying to distract from what we're doing, but copy that. You guys can take a look at that. That's Forewarn. I was just looking up this morning. So, all right. So, any other questions? Livette, we didn't get to you. Livette. Oh, can you put the name of the leads in the chat, please? Yeah. And so just email Michaela and ask her to sign you up for OpCity and Prime Street. Or you can just ask Michaela to sign you up for both of our leads programs if you don't remember the name. Okay. And I left an I out of Prime Street. So yeah, just email Michaela and ask her to sign you up for both leads programs. If you're already signed, make sure you're not already signed up for one. But if you're not sure, just let her know. Any other questions or comments? Guys, I hope you get something out of this whole goal setting thing that we do. I just want you to be inspired to do it. And I don't know what your goals are. I'd be happy to talk to you guys. Jackie wants to know if we'll be starting commercial real estate mentorship. I have some people who will mentor you, Jackie. So there are commercial mentors. Just let me know, and I will put them with you when you have something. Maritza.
Hello, good morning, everybody.
Hi, Maritza.
Yes, good morning. I have a question because I'm working with a client right now. So what you said, you emailed me, Ryan. You can hear me?
Oh yes, I can hear you.
Okay, you emailed me that my mentor would be Christina. Who's Christina would be that one?
She's waving her hands.
Okay, hi Christina. So I have five transaction I need to submit, and I do that already the purchase agreement, but I make sure I do it right before I email it to the agent. Like I show already the property to the client, like New Year's Day.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
run it by your mentor. Christina will
Yeah, I
be
will
glad
do that.
to help you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Thank you.
her number's in the chat, and I introduce you guys by email. So you guys can email back and forth, but she just put her number in the chat for you, Maritza.
Okay.
All right, Maritza's new with us, so welcome to Maritza.
Thank you.
Okay, guys. Any other questions or comments before we go? Are you guys looking forward to goals and being awesome in 2024? Guys, I really think these rates are going to drop a little bit, which is going to make a huge deal. I think I've been wrong before. I don't remember ever being wrong, but I know I've been wrong before. I've been told I was wrong before. Christina.
Yeah, I'm starting to get more calls, so I'm hopeful that it is going to be a stronger year. More calls on my listing. I was showing a property yesterday, so starting to get more calls. It seems like people are talking about the rates going down, so fingers crossed. I think we're gonna have a strong second half at least, and it's already starting to pick up a little bit. So hopefully we all have twice the business we had last year.
Yeah, I read about the Fed supposed to be cutting down to 3.3 or something by the end of the year is what they're projecting. I am seeing, I will tell you, this is very anecdotal, which means it means nothing. But I am seeing a slowdown of consumer spending in my travels. Restaurants are a little more empty than they were. And this is not bad news. It is what's going to drive them to cut rates. The economy is slowing down. I think this is just anecdotal evidence from me. So take it what's worth. But maybe I'm just not cool anymore. So I'm not going where cool people are going. And so I'm just going to all the lame places where nobody is. But I'm seeing the economy slow down, and I'm hearing about the economy slowing down a little bit, which is actually a good thing for us, which means they will cut rates because they got to jumpstart. They put the brakes on, and they overcompensated and slammed on the brakes for inflation, which still somehow is not completely corrected. So we're in a little bit of a bind there, but they've got to hit the gas again. Otherwise we'll be in some sort of recession, and they're going to hit the gas again. And I think that's going to help us out. Yeah. And they do, Christina, because the party in charge is looking to this always happens, no matter what the party in charge is. They want to hit the gas on the economy so people feel a little better when they vote. Because what's that question? Are you better off than you were 4 years ago? Everybody always asks that. This is not a political discussion. I know that's a rhetorical question. So they cut. They wouldn't if inflation was still just starting up and going nuts. Inflation's still way up there, but they're going to have to hit the gas because they've hit the brakes too hard. That is my opinion. Anecdotal evidence. I don't think it's my opinion that they're definitely going to cut. Because the economy has slowed down, but I've seen it slow down quite a bit just in the places that I go. So yeah, I think that's going to happen. That's why I'm excited. I'm bullish on 2024 for real estate. I think there's a lot of pent up things, like we said before. People don't want to move out of 3% rates into 7% rates unless they have a life event that they had to. So now I think that they're going to there's some pent up things. Even people with life events have not moved, even though they wanted to get closer to the grandkids or do this or do that or whatever it is, move to a better school district or whatever it is. That stuff, now they're going to, when rates get down in the 5s, I think they're going to do that. And rates are getting down to the 5s. Yep. Any other questions before we go? Is anybody excited about 2024? Is it just me? Oh, Danette and I are excited. Oh, Anne's excited. All right. We've got some excited people about 2024. That's awesome. Christina is, yes, Chad.
On the last call, someone had mentioned looking for someone to do video editing for them. I forget who it was. Didn't know if they had found somebody to do it, but I've got a friend who's getting into that. Doing editing videos for real estate, real estate marketing on there. So I didn't know if they had found somebody or if they were still looking for it on there. So that was it.
I'm sorry, I missed it. Did you have somebody or you were looking?
Yeah, I've got somebody who's they do transaction coordination, but they're going to start doing video and editing and like social media post editing for realtors as well.
Okay.
On there.
Christina wanted that information. If you got it, you put it in the chat. That'd be great. If you could put it on our Facebook group, that's great. That's a great place for stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah, I'll put it up once they're like going, and I can make sure that I can actually refer them.
Okay.
Then I'll do that because when you're doing referrals, there's always your name attached to it too.
Right.
So, but yeah, I just wanted to make sure that to see if they already found somebody or if they were still looking.
Okay, and I want to remind you guys, thanks for that, Chad. And I want to remind you, well, you said something that's very important to me because I want to remind you guys, I get you guys asking me questions all the time about, hey, do you know any roofers? Do you know any this and that? Guys, I don't want to put my name on anybody, right? I don't trust a lot of these people not these people I don't trust. It's a lot of these businesses and their ability to respond and do a great job and all that stuff. I don't know. I know that we have an approved vendor list, not for roofers aren't on there, I don't believe, and I probably wouldn't do that unless I knew them personally or something. But I don't hire a lot of roofers myself, but that's any more than you guys do. So I don't hear about a roof that went well or a roof that went poorly. So I don't have a lot of that stuff, but check our vendor list though. We do have vendor lists for Orlando area and Tampa area. And if you have something in another area, let us know. But we have those lists available for you guys. They've got all kinds of stuff, people that we've worked with, people that we know positive things about. Yes, Christina.
Yeah, I know. I was the problem child asking you for your references for roofers.
That's just an
but
example. I get for everything. That was just an example.
So I mean, I got a couple now that are willing to get paid on the HUD, or they give me competitive quotes. So if anybody's looking, trim construction, mid-Florida roofing, message me. But I think that's going to continue to be kind of a, thorn in our side this year. So I found a couple of good ones, good quotes, good turnaround times, flexible with payment, etc.
Okay.
If anybody needs it.
Great. And hopefully you guys learned something when Dan came in and talked about the roofing and stuff as well a couple of weeks ago. Tammy, Dan's the insurance guy.
That's what I was going to say, Christina. Dan has a couple of companies that will give you the 30 days after closing to do the roof if the seller wants to give the credit. And also there's that PACE program that you can get approved for financing, and it goes on your tax bill and it gets paid off when you sell the house. So that could possibly, I need to check into that for my people because I've got this a house that needs a roof as well.
Interesting. I hadn't heard about that. PACE?
Well, I talked to an air conditioner guy in Osceola County, and he was telling me about this PACE program that, because this guy's AC is like on its last leg, and I'm like, oh gosh, it's going to go out and these tenants are going to be stuck.
Right.
And he told me about the PACE program, and once he gets the AC put in and hands them the permit, they send him the payment. So I'm thinking, and that he said it's like home improvements, roof, AC. So I haven't really checked into the roof, but I'm going to.
Another one that I don't know if they still have money or not is mysafeflhome.com. They'll cover, they'll get the homeowner, if somebody wants to do anything for hurricane prep, roof, windows, doors, they will send an inspector out for free. They just do look at those particular things. And then they will pay, it's the state of Florida, they will pay 2/3 of the replacement cost for like hurricane impact resistant windows or a new roof if you need it. And up to $10,000. I don't know if they still have money, but I just put that in the chat too.
Awesome. Daniel.
I just want to mention something about that PACE. I don't know, you're aware, I fell for it. They put a lien on your home. Your taxes will go high. A lot of people don't like that.
Well, you can do it over a certain time frame. Like you can do a 25-year, and your payment is going to go up on your taxes, whatever that amount is. And it is a lien, but you pay that lien off when you sell your house. So you didn't have the money to pay for it. You're basically borrowing money, and it's going to get paid back when you sell the house. But you can amortize it over. I think you have the choice how many years do you want to amortize it over.
Yeah, you just gotta find out, what it is exactly that they're gonna. So I didn't know about the lien, and that's the part I didn't know. I know they're saying about they taking out of your bank account. I mean, your mortgage and all that. But the lien is the one that is, I would be concerned about.
Well, no, they need to get payment. If you're not paying them, that's the way they can assure that they're going to get your payment is when you sell that house. You're going to pay that roof off. Otherwise, you have nothing. You have no collateral for that job. So you have to have something that they can get their payment when you sell the house. Otherwise, they're giving you a free roof when you sell your house.
That's true. Yeah. I just wanted to see if you know about the lien.
Yes, I did.
Okay. Thank you, Tammy.
All right. Any other questions or comments before we go? We got some new folks on here. Want to welcome Maxwell. We welcome Maritza earlier. I don't see any other new names. Oh, Danette. Hi, Danette. Danette is new as well with us. And let me see. I think that's all for the new folks, but I appreciate you all coming in today. Hopefully this it has helped you guys. If you need help with specific goals, I'm here for you. If you want my input. If not, good luck. You guys have got to put in the work. Sorry for the tough love today, but you got to put in the work or you're not going to be successful. And our successful people do put in the work. Yes, Daryl.
Hey, can somebody make it a goal for everybody to be on cam, please?
Daryl wants to see
I don't
everybody's
see enough people on cam. Make that one of your goals.
It should be your goal to get yourself up. And that's a different thing. And I'm not throwing any. I know some of you guys are driving, some of you guys are doing different things, and I'm not throwing any accusations at anyone. I see people like Natalie, who's usually on camera, etc. But there is something to this, and I'm not throwing any accusations whatsoever. I do believe in tough love, but I'm not tough loving you guys for this. But get up, and it's easy for me to say, to get up in the morning and do your hair and get on camera. It's very easy for me to say, but you guys, if you get up in the morning and you make yourself ready, and a lot of you guys aren't on here because you haven't had your coffee and you don't look great or whatever, it doesn't matter. If you get up every day and ready to go, how do you know somebody's not going to call you and want to see a property right now? So get up every day and look professional. Natalie looks great. I knew she would. Get up every day and look professional and dress yourself. Even if you're working from home, dress yourself to where you can get up and work, and you'll feel better about working, and you'll feel less lazy, and you'll be less distracted, and get out of your slippers and put some shoes on, or whatever. You get your shoes by the door if you don't wear shoes in the house. I don't. But get yourself ready to go, and you'll feel better, and you'll look better, and you'll feel better about working, etc. So that's just
and a full tank of gas in your car, because you never know where you're going to have to go.
There you go. A full tank of gas in your car. I love it. And the reason you guys know this and you can sing it song and verse is because every motivational speaker in the world tells you that, right? And I'm not a motivational speaker. I got it from sitting through one. They all tell you that, right? So get up and do that. And I would love to see you guys. I would love to see all of your faces. And I see a lot of them today, which is great. Love to see all of your faces. Because when our new people like Danette came on this morning to show her beautiful face, she sees all these other faces, but she also sees all the people who don't have their faces up there. And so she thinks, oh, well, I guess most people don't put their face up there. I don't need to do that next time. But I love that her face is on here. Let's keep all of your faces on here. You guys are great. Great to see Ann. Great to see all of you guys. So thank you all for coming in. I'll see you next week. Malvis waited to the last second to tell you to check out her 737 listing. Thank you, Malvis. So the chat's about to go. I'll see you guys all next week. We'll have a very special guest next week, and she's here today, and she's going to be here again next week to talk to you guys. So thank you all. We'll see you next week. Have a great week.